Okay, first question.
Hey Brodie, Geordie over here. Just been talking to Ian. Obviously, that's his last week as an All Black coach. Can you guys both just sum up the impact he's had and how proud you are that he got through some of the stuff he was copying last year and is here coaching you guys in the World Cup final?
Yeah, it's pretty special, I think. Obviously, probably the rockiest, if that's what you want to label it, kind of time within my tenure of the All Black jersey, and obviously probably to see what both Fozzie and Sam went through off the field. And I think, as I heard him say, the group knew where they need to go, and I think that's probably the proudest bit is that he's come out of that and coached this group to where we all knew we needed to be. And I think the ultimate pay of respect is to get the job done on Saturday night for him and show him how much the players have enjoyed having him as our head coach.
Yeah, for me it's just it's been great to see the players ultimately put some performances out there that reflect his coaching ability, and there's no mistaking we were under a lot of pressure, players and coaches, and through that period, believe it or not, Fozzie didn't panic and neither did the players, and we could see a bit of light there. So it was a rocky period, as Guzzle said, but we're just reaping a few rewards now, so big challenge again.
Hey Brodie, just on your sort of last game coming up for the All Blacks, and I'm sure you'll take time to reflect once this is done, but how special is it for you for this last game to be a World Cup final against the Springboks, another chance to go at Evan? Is it kind of the perfect farewell for you in a way?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You can't really put into words like to be in a Rugby World Cup final. Obviously, was lucky enough to experience it in 2015 and to come here and this be my last game in the jersey and have the opportunity to go out there and potentially win it again. I guess if you want to call it a fairy tale ending or however, but it's definitely beats where we were 4 years ago playing for third and fourth, that's for sure.
Geordie, Mark here. Hey, could you just talk to a bit of the balance, I guess, of excitement of the occasion, of the big occasion? You guys talk about walking towards the light and all those sort of things, versus, I guess, kind of being cool and clinical about it. You guys have built some great form since that loss to France, and obviously heading in all the right directions. I guess you want to stick to what's worked for you, but that versus all the excitement and the occasion, how do you balance that?
It's a good question. It's a question I've been asking a few of the senior players, as I haven't been to a World Cup final before. But I think, like this week, we've just been enjoying the week, enjoying each other's company, and understanding it's a fresh week, a new beast, new challenge, World Cup final, different conditions, different opposition, playing against the world champs, world #1 side, and it doesn't get any better than that. So I guess in a lot of ways we're just trying to enjoy it, walk towards a challenge. I know it sounds cliche, but we started the tournament pretty slowly and we've gained a wee bit of momentum, but that doesn't guarantee anything. We've said all along this World Cup, the best teams have been the best teams on the night, so it's going to be no different come Saturday.
Brodie, the South Africans often talk about playing for their country, for the near on 60 million there, and perhaps the difficulties the country faces there. For yourself and for the All Blacks, what do you think the All Blacks play for? Is it for the outgoing players? Is it the fans? What is it?
Yeah, I think it's an array of things for everybody. I think, if you ask the South African team too, they probably want to make each other proud. I think we earn the respect of our peers within the team by doing our actions and performing in the biggest moments. But make no mistake about it, like we're here representing New Zealand as well. Obviously, we don't quite have the population, but we've seen the support that's coming from home and across the social media channels, how excited people are, and had a lot of messages over the last couple of weeks. So, we're here to represent the country, the jersey, ourselves as individuals and the team.
Brodie, one question. Obviously, it's a Rugby World Cup final. But can you describe us, as a New Zealander, what South Africa means to a rugby player in New Zealand? What is South Africa, or what the Springboks are for you? Thank you.
Yeah, I think, personally, from the Springbok encounters I've had, it's like the ultimate challenge, whether we're up in the high veld of South Africa or they're down New Zealand or here in a Rugby World Cup. We know, obviously, with their split too, that they want to come at the four pack and come up front and try and dominate, and we know it's always physical with South Africans. So, yeah, I think from my point of view, it is the greatest challenge that we have in Test rugby.
Brodie, just down the front, Richie McCaw in camp today and through a fair chunk of this tournament. Does it bring back shades of 2015? Also, what has he been able to add for you guys?
Yeah, it's those boys have kind of been coming in since we assembled in Napier, and I think just having them around and having the conversations, like Geordie said, like a lot of the boys haven't been here, and having someone with that experience, and he's hugely respected within the team. So just having him here, and Conrad's been in, Tana Umanga's been in, DC's been around, just having those boys come in and just watch, and they're also providing some feedback on what they're seeing, and adding value to the team, I think.
Just a quick one for Geordie, playing with your brothers a World Cup final. I'm sure it never gets old playing test matches with those other two, but what does it mean to play in a cup final with the family?
Yeah, certainly it doesn't get any bigger for our family, and hopefully we'll have time to reflect afterwards and maybe look back on it in a few years' time, but it's such a cool time, and yeah, it's just, for us, we just enjoy each other's company. It's, you look around the huddle, we see a couple of brothers, and it's a pretty cool connection, and we're lucky to have a lot of our family over here supporting us this week, and so it's such a special week that we'll cherish.
Geordie, you were responsible for one of the great defensive plays of this tournament on Ronan Kelleher in the quarter-final when you broke Irish hearts. What do you remember about that moment, and do you ever have a sliding doors moment since then to think, oh my God, if I hadn't made that, things could have been different, that you mightn't be sitting here today?
Certainly, there's moments like that in every test match, and the thing is, you don't know when they're going to turn up, and that particular moment there happened before I even realised it was a split-second decision. Luckily, I'd seen Richie Moe hold up a couple of players in similar positions off the back of them all this year in test matches, so he provided an example for me, and I guess it was a sliding doors moment, turned out to be a big moment in a test match, and who knows, it might be someone else in a final. So look, that was a couple of weeks ago. We've got a fresh challenge, best team in the world in a World Cup final, so it's going to probably come down to a moment similar.
Brodie, on here. You've been alongside him for a lot of his career, but Aaron Smith walks away from the All Black jersey on Saturday. How special will it be being alongside him as he leads the haka for the last time on Saturday?
Yeah, it's going to be cool, right? We've played a lot of footy together. We debuted on the same night, and we're going to finish together. So, it's pretty cool. He's obviously a massive part of our group, and even last week when he scored that try, I said, geez, you've still got it, mate. So, it's special, and I know he's going to relish it. He loves leading the haka, so I hope he goes well, and the full pack gives him the platform that he deserves.
Oh, hi, Brodie. Just a question for you. You've played well over 100 tests, and we know that many times we've probably thought you're an automatic selection. But just given in the playoffs that Sam played last week, and this is a World Cup final, did you have nerves or anxiety before the team was revealed? Ian just said before how hard it was to tell Dane that he'd missed out. What was it like for you waiting to see when the 23 was going to be named?
Not too dissimilar to most weeks, to be fair. Obviously, Sam and Scooter playing outstanding at the moment as well, and I think it's probably one part of this group that I learnt from an early time, whatever your role is within within the squad come team naming, then you get on and do it. And Colsey was a great example of that this week. I felt for him that he didn't get to play this week. So, yeah, I can't. The selection's out of a player's control, so put my best foot forward and see what they name.
Hello. Are you driven by a feeling of revenge after Twickenham before the start of the Rugby World Cup?
To be honest, we haven't really referenced the game at Twickenham. We've understood this is a completely different assignment, a massive challenge, Springbok side of a 7-1 split in a World Cup final. So, yeah, we haven't fallen back on that week, and it's not going to be an emotional response as such. This is a completely different challenge for us.
Good evening, Brodie. Good evening, Geordie. Brodie, for you. Does the fact that South Africa and New Zealand no longer play each other in Super Rugby make this game all the more special now, because there isn't that domestic familiarity that often would lead to a subplot leading into a test match? The test match just stands alone now as the clash between South Africa and New Zealand.
Yeah, I think well, not going up there in Super Rugby, like, you miss the experience of playing in South Africa, which to us Kiwis is pretty special. But in saying that, because it is rarer that we play the South African teams now, it almost makes it more special. I think everybody looks forward to the Test match. I know the one earlier in the year in New Zealand was sold out a couple of weeks before it, because spectators know what they're going to get. So yeah, Test match rugby obviously slightly different to Super Rugby as well, but I think playing each other less almost creates more excitement and anticipation around the game.